Hey guys, this is Matt Wenning at WenningStrength.com, and today we're going to talk about top isolateral movements that you may not be doing and you probably should be doing, whether you're a power lifter or just a recreational lifter or an athlete. So let's get to it.
Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a f, that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving, don't give a f, I don't care. Did the by my lonesome, no wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run, all I really want is my share.
Now I know that isolateral training really doesn't get a lot of popularity on the internet, but in reality, isolateral training is huge in correcting imbalances, both left and right, and also making sure that your body is developing itself neurologically. So as we know with stroke patients, that the left side of the body is affected by the right side of the brain and vice versa. So that knows that we have a crisscross, and a lot of that's for equilibrium balance. But the big thing is, guys, is that when you train isolateral movements, everyone has a imbalanced left and right side, both when they develop and even throughout their careers, even at the most elite level. This means that a lot of times the nervous system, due to balance issues and all different types of different scenarios, is that you're only as strong as your weakest side, like what we talk about with your weakest link. So this weakest link thought process can also be sides. The reason that some people have a right or left imbalance can be to anthropometric links. Like, not all people's legs are exactly the same length, so it causes an imbalance in that perspective. Same thing holds true with the hands, and everybody has some different level of either normal scoliosis or some type of a postural issue that creates an imbalance both posterior, anterior, or left and right. But today on this video, we're going to talk about left and right imbalances. Now, left and right imbalances are huge, and the way we can fix them is some of these exercises. One, the overhead kettlebell step up. Overhead kettlebell step up is massive in order for you to make sure you're making progress. Now, how we do this is we will step up with the right leg holding the kettlebell in the left hand. This is crossing midline and forcing not only the core to work harder, but also to make sure that your left and right imbalances become corrected a little bit faster. If I were to go back in time when I first started lifting weights, I would have been doing a lot of these exercises, especially the overhead kettlebell step up. What I like about it is it causes a lot of balance issues. Hopefully you get perfected, core stability, and also some shoulder integrity. So it's a great bang for your buck exercise if you're on limited equipment or you're trying to fix an imbalance. The next one is single arm hanging kettlebell press. Now this one is amazing for upper body development, but it also, with your feet up, causes core imbalances to be corrected and also teaches you how to stay tight, both in the pec muscle, the delt muscles, and the upper back muscles. So as you can see in this video, this exercise is very, very difficult, sometimes needing a spotter, but most times we use this for rehab and for beginning lifters with very light weights, somewhere around a 5 or a 10-pound plate hanging in a band. Now, why this exercise is so important, in my personal opinion, is it forces the lat and serratus to stay activated, and it also forces the joint capsule, i.e. supra and infraspinatus, to be activated as much as the big pressing muscles that most of us are concerned with. Why is this important? Because as soon as these small muscles create problems, i.e. rotator cuff tears, things of that nature, labrum tears, you're going to start having problems training those big muscles anyway. So you better make sure they're growing at the same rate, and this exercise will do that. The next exercise that I think is super important is a dumbbell alternate toe touch. Dumbbell alternate toe touches are amazing because they also correct posterior chain imbalances and balance issues in and of themselves, all the way from your toe all the way to the top of your skull. Now, how we do this by crossing midline is we will hold the kettlebell, let's say, in the right hand, and we go to the left toe while we kick the right leg back. We'll see people doing this quite often, but they'll be doing it with only the left side to the left toe. By doing this, you're not creating an imbalance in crossing midline. Therefore, I feel it's not as important of an exercise because it kind of self-balances in the exercise. But when you cross your body, you have to create more stability, coordination properties to do the exercise. Therefore, the dumbbell alternate toe touch is one of my favorite isolateral movements. The next one is a hanging kettlebell farmer's walk done on one side. Now, we see in World's Strongest Man and a lot of people doing farmer's carries, they're doing it with both hands, which is awesome. But at the end of the day, you're getting a lot of vertebral spinal compression, and you're not really getting as much abdominal function as I think is if you do it one side at a time. So as you see in this farmer's walk, holding a band with a kettlebell draping in the band, you have to keep the opposite side of the body insanely tight, because not only are you holding weight, you're holding weight that's oscillating and bouncing. This is causing a shit show in the core and all of this, the corrective spinal muscles, in order to hold a good position. This is my favorite way to do farmer's walks, and it should be yours as well. The next exercise is a bird dog row. I like bird dog rows because one, none of us have enough upper back strength, but two, it kind of teaches you to do an exercise while you're focusing on other particular body parts. So a bird dog row is a great way to do rows with adolescent kids and force them not to go super heavy. I mean, let's face it, how many times have we walked into a high school weight room and you got guys doing bent over rows with way too heavy of dumbbells, and if they did them in bird dog style, they can't cheat. It's much harder to do a very, very heavy dumbbell that you're not ready for in an imbalanced position than it is to just lock in, say, a reverse incline bench or a regular traditional bent over row. You can tend to use a lot more body sway and a lot more cheating. I find with the bird dog row, it really forces isolation. Now, once you have mastered the bird dog row, then it may be an appropriate time to go up to a heavier kettlebell and use more. We're going to shoot an extended video on this on Patreon for you guys to show you more variations to help and also give you some repetition ranges on what you should be doing with these exercises. So we'll see you at winningstrength.com and talk to you guys soon.
Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a f, that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leaf and I'm coming now.